Welcome to the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show, a broadcast service of globalbusinessnews.net.
Now, here's your host, Ed Cohen.
This is Ed Cohen in San Diego, California. It's a little after 7 a.m. here, but our special guest, Irma V Balian, is in Beirut, and it's, 4 p.m. there?
Hi, Ed. It's 4 p.m. in the afternoon.
Yeah, and when do you go on daylight time?
I believe it's going to happen this coming Sunday.
Yeah, good. And then
Although I'm not sure.
I know it changes,
Yes.
It's just it's confusing during this time and in the fall.
Yes, especially when you have interviews across the globe and you have to take that into
I know. So I wanted to be sure that I was on the right thing. So I Googled, 7 a.m. in LA is what time in Beirut?
Yes. Well, it's
So,
p.m., but then it's got to be 2 hours difference. 10 hours, but you can, if it's 7 there, it's going to be 5 here, 5 in the afternoon.
Yeah. Okay, good. Well, thank you very much for doing this again. Well, today is approaching the first day of spring. Can't come any too soon here. Be nice to warm up a little bit. Although yesterday here it was almost 80 Fahrenheit, which is very nice. But it's going to be somewhat cooler today, just variable weather. Usually in San Diego, it's pretty flat, about 70 and sunny most of the time. But with the variations going on in the world, not just in weather, but in business, look at the volatility. War in Europe is crazy. And so
it's cold here, by the way. We don't have this usually either. Yeah. Usually during this time of the year, it's pretty mild, but we're having a pretty cold weather, a lot of snow, and yeah, it's an unusual weather for us as well.
Let's talk about the role of protocol and the international business scene, global business, international relations and business. You and I are practicing right now international relations in a business setting. And so the importance of understanding people as people, not what they represent, although it's really hard to separate the two, isn't it? How do you think people prepare in other places? How should people prepare to talk with people from across time and space and cultures from across borders?
Yes. Well, to start with, Ed, business skills are people skills. And people skills are business skills. We always think that, okay, when we're doing business, it's business. We have to be objective and just focus on what we want to get. But we forget that behind that mentality of trying to get what we want as a good deal is a person. And whether the deal is good or not, if the relationship is not good, the deal might not happen. And this a lot of times people miss it. They don't give it that much importance because they think that they will have to focus on the numbers, they have to focus on the results. Yes, but to get to the results, you have to have a relationship with someone. You're not dealing with a robot, you're not dealing with machines. They are people. They are people with a certain mentality, with a certain culture, with a certain way of doing things, behavior, and we need to take these into consideration. And international business, obviously, it's something that is, everybody wants to do that, because when you go across borders, when you expand internationally, it means that you are doing well, you are succeeding, and you are, expanding. In many ways, that's good. You are increasing your sales, hopefully decreasing your, costs, improving your productivity, efficiency, but that shouldn't be a short-lived success. And for that to be avoided, you need to go deeper into how you're going to do business across borders and across cultures. And you should take into consideration how you're going to negotiate. A lot of times people think that, okay, the contract that we're going to do is a binded contract, and that's going to save us, or that's the secure thing that we're going to do. But in some places around the world, a contract is the word that the person says. And when they give you their word and they are serious about it, that's it. That's how they do business. Whereas in let's say in North America, I mean, you don't just say, okay, we got a deal and that's it. No, you have to base it on some contract, some physical paper that you can trust. And I've seen this many times. For example, once I remember there was an Australian company here in Lebanon. They were here to do business, and there was a group of people. They just came and they introduced themselves and they sat down to do the business. And the funny part was, their counterparts in Lebanon, they wanted to do business as well, but that's not what they were expecting. They were expecting to have this, at least get to know each other. I mean, who am I dealing with? If I'm gonna trust you with my money, I have to know who I'm gonna deal with. That's the mentality of relationship-based cultures. And in let's say in Australia, that's not how it is. We are here to do business. Let's not waste each other's time. Let's get to the point, whatever that that deal is gonna be. So a lot of times, people don't realize this difference in opinion or different way of doing things, and trust becomes an issue. If I cannot trust you, how am I going to do business with you? And vice versa. And people think that, we're not here to talk about my family, we're not here to talk about the weather, we're here to talk about the business. I came across from all the way from miles away, and I'm here to do business, not to talk about my personal stuff. So people need to realize this. And Ed, I've noticed that even in the parts of the world which are not necessarily known to be relationship based, even if let's say in the US or in Canada, you would go and have some kind of a rapport with the person. That does make a difference at the end of the day when you're going to do a negotiation, because people like to do business with people they like. And if I make the person comfortable, and if he or she feels comfortable with me, that is going to play an important role as well. And
let's talk about, if I can interject an angle, an approach. I was reading some stuff about you in ProtocolWise, the book. In the early days, I guess still now, but in the early days in particular, it was about setting the table, not only in quotes, but in reality, because of people who don't know each other, yet they wanted to be in an elegant setting, doing something a little bit differently, or just right, and you proved yourself an expert in that, in high levels in business and associations. The temperament required in order to set the table right for a negotiation or a talk is exactly what you're talking about now. Setting things to be comfortable, meaningful, and appropriate. Those are all vague terms, but take us deeper on each one of those, or whichever one you want, because you're the expert, I am not, and our audience out there wants to learn.
Right, that's a very good question. Well, a lot of negotiations do happen around the table, especially in relationship-based countries. It's not only about just sitting face to face and talking about the different points on the contract, but it's about getting, being comfortable in a really pleasant environment. And in relationship-based countries, that is very important. And how to set the table is already part of it, because you need to know how to entertain your guests. That's part of doing business in the right way. That's part of your people skills that you need to have, and to know how to sit people. In these relationship-based countries, it's very important. For example, if you are the host and you are someone, obviously you are in a senior position as a host. If you are hosting the delegation or your counterparts coming from a different country, you have to know how to sit them. Now, if there is someone that is from your senior level, obviously, that person has, if you are having a luncheon or a dinner, you have to sit that person either to your right, because the very important person, the guest of honor, should be to the right of the host, if you're going to have a discussion, or facing you. Now, if it's not a dinner or lunch, if there is no food and you are face to face, that could be like an adversary position in a way. If you don't want to give that impression, and if you want to look like you are collaborating and you are trying to make that person feel comfortable and have this really harmonious atmosphere, it's good to sit next to that person, or at an angle with the person. Is that clear? How I'm?
Yes. So why is the right better than the left?
Well, that dates from years and centuries maybe. And even in the Bible it says that always sitting to the right of the person. That comes from these eras, and even in the Roman eras and the Greek, the guests always sat to the right, and the right is always given the honorable position in every way. So the right is the respected place to sit when you have the guest of honor. Having said that, it has been proven by research that if you want to influence someone, and if you want to talk to someone, get across, when you are having a conversation, we tend to hear better from the left side with our left ear. And when you are in a meeting, yes, and when you are in a meeting and you want to have some influence, or make sure that you are in a good rapport with someone, talking from the left side of the person is beneficial, because people tend to hear better from their left side. When I learned about this many years ago, I didn't realize, but I do that too. When I'm talking on the phone, I have the tendency to always talk from the left side, not from the right side. And, with time, I have realized that, yes, from the left, it's always more efficient. It's always more practical. So during meetings, if it's not a lunch, or it's not, time to entertain, you can sit to the left and talk from there, because people tend to hear better from the left side. Now, another important thing is, being discreet. When you are inviting someone, it's always good at the same time to show honor, but to be discreet as well. If you have really sensitive topics that you're going to talk about, you better have a private room to have that invitation, rather than in a big restaurant where there is too much noise, a lot of people coming by and saying hi, hello. Especially in relationship-based cultures, you tend to have that, when people passing by and guests are there, you kind of feel awkward. Do you introduce that person? You don't introduce that person. To avoid these sensitivities, it's better to have your lunch or dinner in a more private setting. It depends on how important or how private or how sensitive the subject that you're going to be talking about is. And another thing is the food, obviously. When you invite someone from a different culture, you want to host them with something from the local place. Even on state dinners, there is always something local ingredients, local menu. But at the same time, you do your homework and try to find out whether there are things that the guest avoids, cannot eat, or it's against their religion, or it's something like a taboo. You have to do that homework beforehand. You would have someone from your team, the protocol officer, or someone from your office who takes care of those matters to find out. And when you try to find out, it's always appreciated. They would, the guests would appreciate and realize that you are making all these effort to make them feel good, to do the preparations as you should, and you are getting organized and doing everything as planned.
Hi, this is Ed, and I thank you for tuning in to Global TV Talk Show, a unit on globalbusinessnews.net. We broadcast to the world, as you know by now. So I wanted to make sure that you understand that our programs are advertising supported. We're grateful for co-sponsors, advertisers. They have a marketing budget coupled with a strong desire to be associated with our top quality program. And of course, I'm grateful. Well, here's our advertisers, and we'll be back in just a couple of minutes or so, and we'll proceed with this interesting conversation. Thank you.
This episode from the meeting room of Global TV Talk Show is brought to you by Porch-like Rental and Destination Services. Reduce your renter lump sum or managed relocation costs. Visit them at porchlikerental.com.
And by airs.com. With our full range of services, we can help design and manage your international relocation. Find us at airs.com.
Primestone Partners, featuring corporate, government, and developer housing solutions, as well as senior-level advisory services. Find them at primestonepartners.com. Become a global player in your field.
Cross Culture to Go provides virtual support for your global business and career success.
We can help you thrive in 140+ countries and markets.
On the web at crossculturetogo.com. Stop dreaming and start living overseas. International lifestyle consultant Emily Braun can help you seamlessly transition to your new life in your dream destination. Whether you are a retiree, a digital nomad, or a mobile executive, Emily Braun can make your transition overseas a success. Visit emilybraun.com.
Coutalis is a global group with a worldwide footprint. With 16 agencies in 10 countries, Coutalis offers companies and mobile professionals a unique combination of HR services and options. Find us at coutalis.com.
Take your communication skills to the next level. Barbara Bolt of Bolt Global has a passion to make you shine. As our globe expands, effective intercultural communication and presentation is a must. Visit boltglobal.com.
We are pleased to welcome Adamo Education as a proud sponsor of Global TV Talk Show.
The concept of a microschool is the reimagining of the one-room schoolhouse. My name is Tamara Becker. I'm the president and CEO of Adamo Education. The microschool concept really does not just lend itself to the personalization and the customization of learning, but also the social development and fostering that sense of love for learning. Unlike what we see in traditional brick and mortar schools, we have multiple grade levels in the same learning space. Students can be enriched by the socialization that they get, as well as the academic support from peers. What differentiates Adamo is the fact that we are taking the best pieces of brick and mortar, of digital, and then at-home learning. Students here can come 5 days a week. They can come 4 hours a day. It will really just depend on what is best for the student and for the parent. To enroll, just reach out via phone, text, or email, and we'll have that personalized conversation, and we'll be able to get you all set. Check us out at adamoeducation.org.
We have about 4 or 5 minutes remaining in this brief conversation, and I invite you to come back next week or soon when it's good for you, and let's go a little bit deeper. Now, there's some negotiations going on right now between people at war. Representatives of Ukraine and Russia are, I don't know if they're negotiating, but they're talking with each other with the help of others being intermediaries right now. So
let's just assume that they're trying at least to have those conversations, you know.
So are they throwing rolls at each other now, or instead of rocks or missiles? I mean, how are they able to have a conversation when one of the parties, well, they're both killing each other? I mean, it's crazy.
You know, there is this factor of cultural superiority, if you want, you know, thinking that, you know, we are better, we can do this, we have the right to want what we want at this age, and you have to abide by what we want because we know better and we have done this before, and it is if you give it to us, we would know how to handle it. And you know, there are different aspects, political aspect, geographical aspect, but looking at it from a cultural aspect and thinking that, you know, no, you have to follow us because we know how to do this, or the other party saying that, no, we are different. We might be very much the same, but there are differences and we are not necessarily exactly the same. We are different. And these, if you look at it from a cultural perspective, there is this, there are many nuances or many factors that play a role in whether, you know, there is a chance to bring them together into an understanding, or at least diplomatically trying to get to an agreement or not.
We're talking with Irma V Balian in Beirut, and I'm in San Diego, California. Can you imagine that divide across time and space? And here we are right next to each other. Wow. So coming together to talk about stuff we both are very interested in. And thank you out there for being on Global TV Talk Show. And we invite you to come back in the next week or two to the next episode, the next lesson, a lesson that we're getting in international business. Thank you, Irma. Have a good weekend.
You too. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye. Ciao.
Thank you for joining us in the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show.
Have a wonderful day, and stay safe.